Hey, this is Timo and welcome at another video of my project where I'm talking and building my old Lego. And today we're going to build a train again, and it's related to the Crocodile from 91. It's not yet the Crocodile itself, but it's the alternative build, and that's a very interesting one because I never have built that thing before, that alternative build. I think many people who own this set never have built the alternative build. There are also no pictures on the internet. I did a brief check, but it's really totally ignored. And of course, the set model, the real model, when you have this set, why you should build the alternative build. And most people, they just build it and keep it, and the kids play with it. And that's why I think it's very interesting to actually build the alternative build. And of course, for the people that want to see this one, there will be another video very soon, I think maybe next week or 2 weeks later, where I totally focus on the famous 91 Lego train Crocodile. So today we're going to do the alternative build. I can show a bit the year of 91 when the set came out, but the problem is, like you already can understand, it's not shown anywhere, this alternative build. You know, it was only displayed on, I think it was only displayed on the box of the set, and in the instructions it's shown how to build it, and that's all. There's very less footage, pictures available, and also in the entire Lego catalog, it's just always focused on the set and not if there's an alternative build. They mostly don't show you anything of that, which makes it a bit like a mysterious, you know, a mystery. Like, yeah. Yes, so the Crocodile came out in 91. It's displayed there, but I think on the other side, on the other page, that's interesting. Such an iconic Lego set, in my opinion, and the year that it came out, it was not shown at all in the catalog, only in the little box here. So that's really a surprise to me. They were mostly promoting the Metroliner, which is shown on both of the pages, both of the sides, and all the other trains are shown on pictures, but for some reason the Lego Crocodile not. Maybe then the next year it was promoted, but it's an interesting thing that the thing is that 91 it was a full batch, like it was the start of the 9-volt era, and so maybe it just was too much for them to all be shown on two pictures, but it's still strange because they could have easily put it somewhere, I guess. But yeah, it's that's the team that just decided not to give that too much attention or attention at all. But in my opinion, it's a great set still. It's it's I think it's based on the Austrian version of the Crocodile Locomotive, which was in very similar colors. I think in the 70s or 80s they gave that color scheme, because before they were all like green. And of course it's also related to the colors of a previous set that was in the 12-volt era, which also there was this high-speed train, which also was the same red with a white stripe, the same doors, but of course without this newer Lego train logo. Anyway, alternative build. Let's start with it. So we have to go to the middle, the last 4 pages. And yes, as I said, it is very interesting because I never built this set. So I don't really know how it looks like when it's finished. I mean, you can see it only in the instructions. But of course, as long as you didn't build it, you don't know the dimensions, and maybe it's very obvious that it's a alternative build, you know, maybe. And I think on the end there will also some bricks will be left still, because it's clearly a smaller design than the Lego Crocodile. Yes, but let's see. I think it's definitely the biggest Lego set I'm building for this project until now. And I think I never had so much bricks on my table in this project. And I have to try to manage it a bit. I think when the sets get more bigger, I really have to maybe sort the bricks a bit, because I see now already it will get tough finding everything, all the parts. But as long I don't need the small pieces, then it will be fine. So yeah, I don't remember anything of this set, because I never saw it being built. And I don't want to talk too much about the, how do you call it, the A model, the real thing of the set, the Lego Crocodile, because I want to maybe save that for the video where we will going to build that one. So, but it was a really nice year, this 91. I mean, I remember I was first a bit surprised, because I think I already mentioned it before. I already had collected some of the 12-volt Lego trains. And then suddenly in 91, it was just finished. They just stopped continuing with that system. And I remember there was like a kind of mixed feeling, because I also realized that I could not continue with that one anymore, with that system. But in the same time, I was always happily surprised about these new trains, these new sets, and They had also new pieces like this, like the famous piece that we already discussed with, we already painted it, or I painted it and you watched me. Yeah, and so, and there were a lot of, and this piece is also something that came out in 91. So they also introduced a lot of new parts. I think also this part was also new. It's a 1x2. I don't know if you can see it. I can go closer. It's a 1x2 a brick with ribs on it. With and yes, that was also new, I think, in the same year. And I think those new parts were actually a good contribution to what already existed. Now I have to be a bit careful. Okay. Aha, I need another one of this. So I already take out these pieces because I see I will need them. Yeah. Then it's a bit like, where is it? That piece. Like I always do before the videos, I always check if everything, just double check if everything is still complete. So I know it's here, but I will just continue. It's not, I can still edit later, I see. So the downside of the alternative build, of course, is that when I want to do the video of the Lego Crocodile, I will have to take it apart again. Or you need to have 2 sets of the same. So yes, let's see. Ah, there's the one that I was looking for. Perfect. Then this is also again fixed. Let's see how nice this alternative build is. And then it's always like something to consider if it's surprisingly good to just order those bricks on some point. And then you can have a lineup with both designs. Maybe I can make a picture and then just do this exactly the same frame with the crocodile and then just Photoshop them together in one frame. Let's see. I think those bricks were also quite new back then. They are now very common, and also the lower ones, so not the one that is too high, but one high. And they use it a lot now for the so-called Snot technique, I think it's called, to build in different directions. Because as you can see, there's like studs in all the directions. But I think back then in the 90s, this was still not a very common brick. And it's also even possible that it was just new also in 91. And I think this kind of bricks where you build in other directions than up were mostly introduced in the space teams, because there they always had these weird spaceships with things pointing in all the directions. Or some are also, of course, I think in Lego Technic also a lot of bricks were introduced and then later on also adapted in the normal Lego system. Of course, they are all compatible with each other. I think I already like the dimensions of this locomotive. It's a very cute size. It says small, and for the people that don't know, or I don't know if I even mentioned it, but especially when I was a child, I was quite crazy about trains. I mean, not only the Lego trains, but also the real trains, and so these specific designs, they always remind me on some specific trains in the real world. And I'm from Holland, and in Holland there was also a specific locomotive which was manufactured in France. Alstom, it's what's called the factory, the manufacturer, which was acquired, I think, in the 60s, no, earlier in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It was one of the biggest manufacturers of especially locomotives, I think also coaches. And they had a really famous design with a front of a locomotive that is basically like going like zigzag. I don't remember the French name of it, but it was called the broken nose. And it was basically spread all over Europe, especially in France, of course. But in Holland, we also had a locomotive from that manufacturer with that broken nose design. I think in Portugal, and I think in Slovenia, and I think in... Yes, I think those are the countries where... Morocco, there was also one in Morocco. One batch that went to Morocco. But this one reminds me, when I see it already like this, it reminds me a bit of a smaller version of the same manufacturer of Alstom in France. Which in Holland, of course, the color scheme in Holland was all yellow. So and there we have the head. It's a very basic minifigure. Typically the one from the railways that you already had, like in the 12-volt system. Always the same head. That just improved the print on the shirt. The shirt that improved it a bit with more different colors. I see also beside the white, I see also red and gold. So that's that was also in the 90s when they also started to make these prints on these minifigures more advanced, like printing in different colors also. So where are we now? All right. Oh, I missed a step there. I need this one. And I need the other one there. And then there is this, all right. And then we have this one here. I think the thing I'm building now should represent the engine. The engine of the train. I mean, I think locomotive, you also, in English, you also call it engine, but the real engine, like where the power is coming from. So, yeah, this ripped bricks, this grilled, maybe you say grill, maybe that's the better word for it. These grilled bricks, they are nice, and they were also introduced, I think, around that time, and they give just more detail to the design, and I think also a good thing about it is that a normal brick gets scratches over the time, but with these grills, there's just basically no space for scratches. So that's maybe also it's just popping up in my mind. This is also just like a benefit of those bricks. So now we're going to do some details here. All right. Yeah, as I said, I never built this one, so I let myself surprise. I let it surprise me what I will see here, what it will turn out to be. Yes, and I try to give everything a bit like a clear, nice spot on the table. So, but of course, with a mountain of bricks, that's a bit impossible. I was also thinking to put all those bricks on a plate or more plates, but then you don't see the bricks anymore, because the edge of the plate, it should be like a super flat plate, because otherwise you just see only the edges from this camera, and yeah, from the top you will see it, but I have still to try those kind of things. Of course, when the sets get bigger, then it will just be quite difficult to build and to organize and to find the pieces you need. All right, this is going here. Oh, did I forget another one? It's just like here, okay. So I'm expecting with an alternative build, because they have to use the same bricks, of course, as the bricks that are included in the set for the real thing, for the A model. Let's call it the A model from now on. And this is the B model. So they are restricted to the bricks that are included in the set already. So I'm expecting, of course, then to have like a strange solutions for things. Like, for example, I see already something that you normally don't see in Lego sets. Like here, if you can see it, this gray brick here. It's just ending up, you don't build anything on it anymore. It's just continuing, and then they don't make sense. They just fill it up a bit like there, but you don't see those things normally in the real set designs, in the A models, let's say. Yeah. So then we go with the ones that we painted. And yes, as I said, they are not so perfect, but I think when they are in the set included, then actually you will not see anymore that much of the mistake I made with this painting project. Yes, that's what this was like. This painting thing was like something. But still, I think the paint is way more, I said it's sustainable than the sticker. So I think this paint will still be on it, mostly undamaged, in a good condition after a couple of years. And of course, this set is 91, so it's from it's 33 years old. 33 years old. And that's just not possible for stickers, especially when the sticker has to go on the corner, around the corner. Then it's just, of course, it will fall off. It will just get damaged, and so yeah, it's like something that is just really a problem with the stickers. And it's also on the internet that other Lego YouTubers, they're also complaining about this. And the thing is that Lego is still continuing bringing out sets with stickers, and in my opinion, they should just stop it. And I can imagine when you have an alternative build, maybe you use a sticker, but then you also don't want to take off the sticker and put another sticker for the alternative build. So I think in that case they could just, they could just print everything and just for an alternative build just include another brick with that specific print or without the print or something. Yeah, but so this locomotive, this engine, I think the Americans they are more talking about engines, and the British, they talk more about locomotive, but I'm not sure. The problem also, of course, is with those differences in the English language, is that because the world gets smaller, then English and American gets more and more, I think, one language. Like they lose their specifics. And then you also have international English, which I always consider as like an easy way of talking English. Yeah. So we continue and continue. Then we're going to do the wheel part. Maybe I put it briefly. Nah, I just put it here, like this. Like this. It looks a bit like a pig, like with this pig nose. Yeah. But were like actually designs. This reminds me of real trains. There were also designs like this, like smaller locomotives that had like a small, I don't know what it was, like a nose, maybe for the safety or for the driver. Like if it's crashing somewhere, then there's still like a part, like a buffer before it's hitting the driver. So it's just so nice to see these things like this engine, this I had in my mind how they looked like, all these things in these parts and these pieces, but to see it again after so long time, really looking at it and just thinking like, okay, it actually looked like this. What you have in your memory, what you have in your, how you thought it looked like, it always, this is a general thing, of course, in life. When you have certain memories, they always are a bit slowly organically manipulated from how it really was, you know. This is, by the way, also a really nice, really nice piece. It's something you can put, it's a really weird piece also, but it is something you can put over this motor block, over this engine. And then the result is like this. Then immediately it gets a really detailed wheel set. All right. And then we have then we make a kind of dummy wheel set. Bogie. It's called a bogie. Oh. All right. So this is what I remember. This is what I remember, that you always had an engine, and then you always made a kind of dummy of it for the other side of the locomotive. And they used, so in this piece, there's also some round thing included, which is exactly the size of a minifigure head. So they also included a totally black minifigure head, which is now suddenly a piece of a bogie. And today my computer, this iMac here again, I don't know why, it makes more sound than normally. Sometimes that's a sign of that they are arriving on the end of their lives, you know, that they are starting to break down. Yes. That's never a funny thing when you have to do another investment again because your hardware is just on the end of the lifespan. So and then we have the dummy also finished. Interesting. So this is the wheel engine, and then you have the dummy, which looks quite similar. Yeah, with the minifigure head here. So I'm getting somewhere now, and I think okay, it has to stick out of it, okay. I just build it like the way they ask you to do it here, because I want to stick to the design, but yeah, otherwise the wheels are, because the locomotive is quite short, otherwise they would touch it or each other, which can be romantic but also inappropriate, I think, when both bogies are bogies, and both bogies have a romantic time together. Yeah. Oh. So we are already doing the roof now, and I see there's so much brick still left. So yeah, it's definitely a smaller design than the bogies. The smaller the B model is a smaller design than the A model. All right. Yes, by the way, I have no idea how long this video is going to be, because I always feel like I'm building, and then I'm building a bigger set and a bigger set, and I always feel like, okay, actually I'm already taking quite long now for this build. So I find it very important to try to I don't want to have longer videos than they should not be longer than 1 hour. I think that's a kind of limit also for people for this kind of videos. By the way, there's a little thing I wanted to mention about the previous video. Maybe you noticed it already, but I made a mistake, a terrible mistake. And it's actually also a bit like funny, because I always use a spot in my videos to give the set, give everything a nice light. And I actually turn off the room light, because it's a different temperature and it will just not improve the quality of the video. But I was quite tired with the last video, and then I just totally forgot to switch off the room light and to put on the, let's say, filming light. So it turned out to be quite in a lower quality, but I already did most of the editing, and I think for most people it's fine, but for me as a perfectionist it was quite like a bit cursing and a bit like, and I found it out when I was doing the last shot, the shots that you always see on the end of the videos, where you see only the model, the set, and literally with the last shot I realized that this light was just not on at all. So that was something. Yeah. I just wanted to mention it because maybe you noticed it that that it was not that there was something different on the video. And yes, that's the thing. It's just not always possible to have no mistakes, although I always try. I'm checking everything and doing double check everything like before I'm filming. And but that's just how it is. So this is also a nice piece. So this is basically 3 pieces together and you get like a pantograph. And this was also, I don't know if those pieces were new, but for sure the top part of the pantograph was introduced with the new 9-volt Lego trains in the 91. Yeah. Before it was way more brick built. The pantographs. For the people that don't know what is a pantograph, I also don't know how to pronounce it in English, but as I know, it's in almost every language the same word. For the people that don't know what it is, I think for Americans maybe it's a bit because it's the mechanism on the train on the rooftop of the locomotive, and also like train sets. This is the way that the train gets the power from the overhead cables, from the overhead wires. And I said for Americans maybe it's difficult to because in America you rarely see, I think only on some like on the East Coast, like on New York, around New York, and so you have electric trains, but I think most trains in America and the United States, there are like diesel power. So, and I need to put these 2 little knots, okay. 2 small pieces, like decoration. And then the roeve is going on the train. Oh. Yes, I like this design actually a lot. That looks very nice. Very nice. I'm very positive about it. Yes, and then I have to put this a bit higher. Okay. Let's show it a bit in the camera. Let's show it a bit in the camera. Like, I think it's a very nice design. Yeah, definitely. And it would be a shame if I would not let it run on a track, because it's a locomotive, it's an engine. It can run on its own. I mean, it can run on its own, not really, but so risking to be for this video to get like more than 1 hour. I'm going actually to build a track here. Of course, I prepared everything for this. It will be the first time, no, I'm lying. It will not be the first time I'm running the train, because I have to confess, I did a little test. I did a little test with just the engines. If they are actually still working, and I was good that I tested them because they really needed a bit time. They didn't work. They were out of service for 30 years, and I really noticed they really needed time to get running proper. They just, I don't know, they were just a bit stuck, and I had to push them a bit, and then suddenly they were working better and better again. So, and I think I just leave all the leftover bricks just in the middle. This can be here. Of course, I prepared with some with tape. I prepared it that I know exactly where to put the loop. So, and then we had in the 90s, we had this, it was also introduced. It's the 9-volt, how you call it in English? Transformator. This is also the English word for it. The control unit, I guess it's in English. Control unit. And then I have like is just there, so I can connect it. And then it's giving this green light, and that means there's power. And then the final step is this wire, which has these two, so this was the 9-volt system. You have these two how do you call them? Contacts, I don't know how you say them. To transfer the electricity in the tracks. Then you have to lift it up a bit, put it on it. And with doing that, it's basically, there's power on it. Let me see if I can put this a bit nicely. This is how it is, I guess. All right. There we go. So it was running before. It was running. When I tested it. So let's see if it's not disappointing me now. Yes. And that's the sound I remember. I find it a very nice sound. It's a bit like this. So now it's everywhere nicely in the frame. And of course, it is a very boring track. It's just making circles. But it just fits nicely on every frame now here. Maybe I should not do that all the time. Yeah. Yes, and well, then I can also, I think you still remember from the other videos, we already have two wagons built, which of course can nicely include. No, come on. So, and then we already have a more complete train. And this was how I enjoyed my time back in the 90s. I mean, not with this specific locomotive, not with this engine, because I never built it. This is the first time I see it. I see it running. And yeah, I like it. I think I like it, yeah. By the way, this, if you remember, unfortunately, that wagon has on one side this decolored white, but that's just how it is. It's always showing on this side. Now, I think we've seen enough. Let's stop it somewhere. It's nice for every frame. So. Up again. Then it's looking a bit more decent. Yes, that was another build again, a train. Next week, in 2 weeks, there will be the second part of this of this video, or just a new video with the build of the Lego Crocodile, the A model of this set. I hope you liked it, the video, and I wish you a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night. Please subscribe, that's very important. I really need that, and to grow my channel. And I wish you a wonderful day. Bye bye. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so.